I find it difficult to accept Apostle Paul's teachings because he seems to advocate abandoning the teachings of Jesus Christ. In Hebrews 6:1, Paul says, "Therefore let us move beyond the elementary teachings about Christ and be taken forward to maturity." It sounds as though Paul is encouraging believers to move away from the core teachings of Jesus. Jesus came with a clear message, but Paul appears to be leading people away from it. This raises concerns for me, as it seems that Paul is introducing a different doctrine, diverging from what Jesus himself taught.
I understand your concern, but I think there's a misunderstanding of what Paul is actually saying in Hebrews 6:1. When Paul says, "Therefore let us move beyond the elementary teachings about Christ and be taken forward to maturity," he isn't suggesting that we abandon the teachings of Jesus. Instead, he is encouraging believers to grow in their understanding and faith. The elementary teachings refer to the basic principles of Christianity, which are foundational and necessary. However, Paul is urging believers to advance beyond these basics into deeper, more mature knowledge of Christ. To clarify, let's look at Hebrews 5:11-14. Paul says, "We have much to say about this, but it is hard to make it clear to you because you no longer try to understand. In fact, though by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you the elementary truths of God's Word all over again. You need milk, not solid food. Anyone who lives on milk, being still an infant, is not acquainted with the teaching about righteousness. But solid food is for the mature, who by constant use have trained themselves to distinguish good from evil." Paul isn't dismissing the teachings of Jesus. He's saying that there's more to learn and understand beyond the basics. Just as a child needs to move from milk to solid food, Christians are encouraged to deepen their spiritual understanding. The goal isn't to abandon the teachings of Christ but to build upon them, growing into mature believers who fully grasp and live out their faith.